Friends, hello to everyone. Today, the most powerful offensive operation by the Russians continues along the entire front line using hundreds of tanks, armored vehicles and live forces. I believe that today, after a sufficient number of days, it can be said that despite such a huge advantage in technology and even aviation, the Russian offensive is heading for failure. And the Ukrainian Armed Forces still manage to hold their defense, which is truly remarkable and seems impossible at first glance. Let's consider the situation in each of the directions and start with Avdiivka. Here, the occupiers continue with the maximum number of shelling and attacks with a large amount of heavy equipment and stormzy units. And what result do we see on the fifth day of the most powerful offensive? One might say no result at all. In the best case, the Russians managed to increase the gray zone. Today, they are rejoicing that they have allegedly captured Slag Heap, and now all of Avdiivka is at their fingertips. However, Slag Heap is the easiest target. The occupiers cannot hide there. They are very vulnerable to being targeted from a drone, but the Russians are trying to present any achievement as a victory, which will end very quickly and they will retreat again. Of course, this situation is extremely difficult, and I'm not talking about any victory, but the Ukrainian Armed Forces have surprised everyone because they continue to repel all attacks, and the front line remains unchanged. So I mentioned earlier that only the gray zone has decreased and there are minor tactical successes that can reach only a few tens of meters, which are not even visible on the map. Let's see how the events will further develop. We see that they do not stop and continue to bring troops and equipment for further attacks. Today, they are breaking through to Tonenki, Lastachkina. At the same time, first battles are taking place in the areas of Первомайsk and Stepove. Due to the fact that they cannot break through, they have also started attacking Nevelsk. To be honest, the number of units and equipment they use here is simply shocking, and the number of shelling is incredibly high. I previously suspected that there was a lull and they were stockpiling ammunition. And now it's clear for what purpose they were accumulating them. All these attacks are aimed at surrounding and capturing Avdiivka in order to further advance toward the complete capture of the Donetsk region. This is one of their main goals. Therefore, they have thrown huge resources here, and it must be recognized that there were no such attacks before. The Russians are learning and, considering their previous experience, are seriously changing the tactics of offensive actions and are using much more equipment, which complicates the defense. As we can see, the Ukrainian Armed Forces are destroying the Russians. Not just for nothing, for yesterday it was reported that almost 1,000 Russians were destroyed. At the same time, the occupiers hope that the Ukrainian Armed Forces don't have enough resources and they have thrown all their forces into the defense of Avdiivka. Videos of what the streets in Avdiivka look like now are already appearing on the internet.
Жовтня, Авдіївка. Приїхав доставити хліб та корм для тварин. Хліб та корм для тварин, слава Богу, в Авдіївку доставляють, але є віддалені вулиці, куди не доїжджають. Власне, тому я тут. Ось така вона Авдіївка. Привіт, красавчики! Привіт!
Что это?
Хлебушек. Красотуня, вышли. Ой, класс.
Нет.
Спасибо вам огромное.
Видишь,
Спасибо
не
большое.
было. Это
Спасибо.
концентрат.
Спасибо. Все, щасливенько. Ось, власне, чим б'ють, чим лупять. Ну що тут сказати, всі і так розуміють, що Авдіївку стирають, просто стирають. Єдиний порятунок для Авдіївки та всіх населених пунктів, які знаходяться на лінії вогню, це відбити російську чуму якомога далі. От і все.
They are attempting to break through in the areas of Myronka, the villages of Pobeda and Vuhledar, but here as well the Ukrainian Armed Forces are successfully holding their defense and the front line remains intact. Okay, before we continue, please share this video on social media and watch it to the end. It will greatly help the growth of my channel. Thank you. In the Bakhmut direction, the situation remains challenging. Here, as before, the Ukrainian Armed Forces managed to break through beyond the railway, keeping the front line unchanged. In response, the occupiers are trying everything to prevent the Ukrainian Armed Forces from advancing further, so they are launching an offensive towards Avdiivka. They conduct artillery shelling along the entire front line and attempt to strike the rear, conducting reconnaissance with drones. In the Siversk direction, there are ongoing shelling in Siversk, Bilohorivka and Spirne. However, let's move directly to Kupiansk. It's from there that the occupiers are trying to advance towards Siversk and are engaging in battles in the forest. There have been no changes on the front line in the past day, but the fact that battles have started here suggests the enemy's serious intentions to achieve their numerous goals. In this direction, they've also launched offensive actions in Zaporizhzhia and shelling continues in the village. In the area of Makiyivka, battles are ongoing as well. The occupiers here show no sign of stopping and continue to assault Ukrainian positions, suffering significant losses. They are also continuing to deploy reserves and attack relentlessly. In the direction of Kupyansk, unfortunately, the situation is complex. Here, the occupiers are once again carrying out offensive actions near Ivanivske, and they have managed to advance to the village. Battles are ongoing for Senkivka as well. Today, I see a lot of fake information spreading regarding the capture of this village. Friends, if we believe the Russians and various unclear maps, they have allegedly captured this village about 10 times, but in reality, they are incapable of taking it. We can see that they are attempting to encircle the small village from two sides because they cannot capture it directly, even with the presence of equipment. The Ukrainian Armed Forces continue to hold their ground and are not retreating. If by any chance the Ukrainian Armed Forces do retreat, I will let you know. For now, the occupiers are advancing and heavily shelling the both artillery and aviation, but it's not bringing them significant success, and the front line remains unchanged. In the Vuhledar direction, the occupiers have started launching attacks specifically on Vuhledar. They are attempting to advance in the area of the cottage village. Battles are ongoing there, and their attempts to break through to Zolota haven't succeeded. In the past day, the front line has remained unchanged, and the Ukrainian Armed Forces continue to defend. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, the Ukrainian Armed Forces operation to advance in the area of Kopani didn't yield significant success. As a result, the front line remains unchanged. The occupiers continue to advance in the area of Verbove, near Novoprokopivka, and are even breaking through to Robotyne again. With these attacks, they are trying to hold all advances of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in any direction completely. Therefore, our forces are not currently moving forward, and they have to repel all the attacks. At the same time, the Russians continue to actively mine the territory to reinforce the second line of defense, just like the first line, which the Ukrainian Armed Forces broke through almost 3 months ago. They understand that mining the field significantly complicates the advancement, so they continue to lay mines in the fields. In the Kherson direction, shelling is ongoing along the entire front line. Unfortunately, this situation remains the same. The Ukrainian Armed Forces on the left bank of the river are not advancing, and the front line remains unchanged. However, in the near future, Russia will feel the impact of long-range Ukrainian weaponry. This was stated by Mikhailo Podolyak.
Avdiivka is under fire from our troops. 4. A view of Avdiivka from the side of Donetsk, where our forces have taken the initiative. Since yesterday, our aviation and artillery have been practically continuously firing at enemy positions. Moreover, as one of the artillery division commanders informed us, great attention is paid to counter-battery warfare, which is excellent. There are also reports of minor advancements from the field. It's too early to play victory marches, but according to one of the tank crew members, unexpectedly even for themselves, the advanced groups of assault troops have almost completed the task set for the tank platoon. Most likely, this is the result of the element of surprise, and very soon the enemy will regain its composure and start offering serious resistance.
In general, we are eagerly waiting because the Allies are not rushing to transfer long-range weaponry. Moreover, it cannot be used against Russia, and Ukrainian missiles will be able to strike military plants and depots on Russian territory. Also, today videos confirming that the Russian ship Buyan-M, which is a carrier of caliber missiles, is on fire, have started to appear. Unfortunately, there are no details yet. Okay. That's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.